cycle so that we can learn from it, all of us. So if you are here in this church, you know that all of my teaching focus on your effectiveness. Do you understand? A purposeful life is an effective life in all its ramifications, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and also financially. So, you would have seen me draw this cycle before. So what you see here is a cycle divided into 4 quadrants, okay? And if this is the entire cycle of a person's life, he would experience 4 seasons, right? So where will his life start from? Here, or here, or here, or here? Where? Okay, let's use a day period. Huh? How many hours are in a day? 24 hours. If you look at the normal time, it's 12 hours, right? But a whole day is twice the cycle in the timepiece, right? So you have, that's why they say, even a dead clock is right at least twice in a day. Because the time we come and meet it, it will be right. Okay, so really we have 24 hours of the day, okay? And so, like if you have followed my teaching, I believe that life starts at conception. And how that applies to building your life is conception will be synonymous with what? With envisioning your life, right? To conceive a dream for your life. Do you understand? Because at conception, what you have literally is a seed attaches to a womb so that a new life begins. Is that not? So for your life, that will mean symbolically a clear vision for your life. A vision for your life is actually a vision for the possibilities in the 5 aspects of your life. Do you understand? So which means you have to envision the possibilities of your spiritual potential. How far can you go in your faith, in your walk with God? How far? Because that's the first thing you must see, right? Then you have to also envision mentally the possibilities for your work, your unique contribution. To do that effectively, you have to also really know what you carry because you are the real product. And you have to envision your relational life. As a matter of fact, if you are getting married, if you have a clear vision of your family, you'll be able to articulate it. And then a vision for your physical health through the stages of life, and then your finances, which is the 5th one. Are you getting me? So it starts at conception. And then the first phase of the cycle of your life is dedicated to so if this was a clock for a whole day, 24 hours, have you seen a 24-hour clock? Okay. Where will be 1? Where is 0? Are you sure? Here? That's where it will start. So, what will be here? In the 12-hour clock, this place would have been. So, for a 24-hour clock, what will be here? 6. What will be here? 12. So, what will be here? 18. What will be here? For a 24-hour. I decided to use the 24-hour clock because in a whole day we'll be able to see the 4 periods, which for me they are symbolic of the 4 seasons. If we use a 12-hour clock, we'll not be able to clearly show the 4 periods of the day. Is that not? So if the day started here, what will be this? 6. What will be this period? From I like this. I like the fact that you guys are really thinking. So, from 12 a.m. to, what did we have here? 6 a.m. What was this? It's done. People are interested. 12. Okay, so 12 a.m. till 9 a.m., 6 a.m. is what? You don't know. First thing you know, you don't know now. 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. 12 p.m. 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. is what? 12 p.m. to 18:00 hours, which is 6 p.m. is what? Is what? So let me make it easy. Let's divide it into today and night. Is that not? So, which side is day, which side is night? I like this, it's engaging. So, this is what? Night. So, this part is dark, right? This is what? Is that correct? Anything I write today, it will be for you. So, we are building it together. So, this is, so before I write, I'll put numbers there, but before I write and miss it. So, you said we should start here, right? Okay. So, it means that this place here will be 0 to what? 9. Is this 6? So 6 is here. Here is 12. Here will be 18. And here will be, okay, 24 hours in the day, and the full cycle of life we want to plug in a season, right? So say life starts at conception, right? So if this is conception, am I correct? If a person gets pregnant or catches a vision here, what happens here at 6? Is what? So bet, right? What happens here? What happens here? You said what? Infant. Okay. What happens here is preparation. I like your liberty. You said what? Expansion, absolutely. So these are significant points on the calendar. Do you understand? So conception begins a life. You carry that life until you give birth to the life. So the child is born, and the assumption is that the morning is the beginning of the child's life, right? But the child has already experienced one phase of life from conception to birth in the dark. Is that not? So the child is born here. So the child grows until stability here, which we will call maturity, right? And from here to here, what happened? What is the significant event here? Conception, birth, maturity. Its age. What happened here? Death. What happened between here and here? Grave. Yes, what? You look like somebody who has the answer. Go right. Transition. Is that not? Because where do you expand? Between maturity, I will put what goes on in between, the activity. Are you following? So like what activity should be happening between conception and birth? Preparation now. Abi? What activity should be happening between birth and maturity? Growth now. Is that not? What activity should be happening between maturity and expand and what? So what is it? Because even me, I don't know. So, well, that and all these things they're here. Transition, they went up. Looking. Okay. What? Where do you expand? Maturity to 18 is expansion. So what do you now happen here? Transition now happens here. What now happens here? Is this not transition? So what happened here? Moti what? Don't look for my trouble. Say motivation. You people are creating new word. Oh, sorry, I missed it. I thought motivation. Okay. So where do you do succession? 18 to 24 should be your succession, right? So there should be a transition here now. Where is play 2? It's just? Maturity. This is expansion, right? So we can put expansion here. When you get here, you will play 2, right? So when you play 2, you make your transition or your succession. Do you understand what I mean? So let's put play 2 here now, right? These things are not cast in stone. What is important is the understanding. Are you following? Okay. Then what happens here? Transition. Huh? So let's put the activity. Well, I should have written this in red. So transition, succession, whatever. So let's use the word we know. So this is your life in 4 seasons. Okay? So if you notice, in the daytime, this will be what? This part will be night. This part will be day. Right? In this night, one is darker than the other. In this day, one is brighter than the other. Right? Huh? So if you look at the seasons of life, typically, which one starts life? Do you know the seasons? Do you know the 4 seasons, right? The first season of life is what? January, what do we experience? You're not global people. Who say I'm a town? Stand up. Okay, so, winter, what season follows winter? Spring. What season follows spring? Summer. What season follows summer? Pastor Joe, are you sure they're correct? Don't stay there and look surprised and not say something. So say it the way you know it. What season starts? Okay. Okay. Okay, autumn is still the fall. It's the same thing as fall. After spring, what comes for you? After spring, what comes? You are the one thinking. Tell us one you have found. We can't help you think. So talk how it is for you. You're not sure? Okay. So, spring, summer, autumn, winter, something spring. Okay. But really, it's winter, spring, summer, fall, which is autumn. Fall is the same as autumn. They started by counting from spring. It's the same cycle. You can start from winter. Do you understand what I mean? It will be spring after winter. Do you understand? Winter is cold and night, early morning, typically like here. Do you understand what I mean? Spring is like the morning. Do you get what I mean? Then summer, because this is midday. Summer. And then fall, autumn. However you put them. But let's use morning, afternoon, evening, and night. That we can relate to very easily, right? So which one will be morning, afternoon? Each one's a seasons, right? So which one will be, let's start from night, because life begins at, or people die at night. Which one is it? Okay, so the most productive season, therefore, or the most productive period is when? 6 to 12. So in the day, just look morning, afternoon, evening. Which one do they say? Morning, afternoon, evening, or night? The idea is this. You start with preparation, whatever you want to call it, okay? You start with preparation, which means you must conceive something. Because if you don't conceive something, you have nothing you're preparing for, right? Huh? Because I want to show you something about the decision matrix. Like, every time you make a decision, like the Bible says, time and chance happen to them hell. The race is not to the swift and whatever. Is that Ecclesiastes 9:11? Is that what it says? But it says time. What is chance? Yeah? Opportunity to make a choice. That's what a chance is. Is that not? People say take your chance or don't take chances, right? Is that not? It's not your opportunity. It's the opportunity to make a choice. So it's saying the two variables for making decision are time, opportunity to make a choice. So we can look at right time, right choice, wrong choice. Do you understand? Oh, Ijomah, how is it? Good to see you. Do you understand what I mean? So we can look at right time, right choice, wrong choice. Is that not? Because what does a leader do? He makes decisions. And every time you want to make a decision, you are either making the right decision or you are making the wrong decision. Is that not? Okay, so put it this way, you are making the right decision at the wrong time, or you are making the right decision at the right time, or you are making the wrong decision at the right time, or you are making the wrong decision at the wrong time. 4 variables. Do you understand? Is that true? Whether it's about marriage, job, you can start the right career at the wrong time. Is that possible? You can start the right career at the right time. Is that possible? You can marry the right person at the wrong time. Is that possible? And you can marry the wrong person at the right time. Do you know that? That you can marry the wrong person at the right time. Is it true? You can make the wrong decision at the right time. What makes it the right time? If you can repair it. So, we seem to have, I don't want to, so let's look at this. So let's say you have what we call mistake, or what we call error, or what we call blunder, or what we call wisdom. So you have a 25% chance of making a wise decision every time you are presented with the opportunity to make decision. 25%. The sower sowed the seed, they fell on how many types of ground? 4. Divide by 100. 25. 75 will not work. So if life is really about making decisions, and there are 5 major decisions in our lives, I'll come back here. The 5 major decisions, number 1 is what? What you believe. Two, that decision is a decision of faith, right? What you believe. Number 2 decision is how you produce. That's what you do, right? How you produce. You can put this as contribute too. It's a decision. Number 3 decision is who you are with. It's your choice you will make who, whether they are friends. It's not only marriage now. B? Huh? You can be the wrong person, you end in jail. Do you know? And you can be in the right person and just things work out, right? 4th decision, how you live. If you like, eat as you like. Don't jog. 5, what you own. So, these are the 5 major decisions, and you have a 75% rate of failure. Said a certain sower went and he cast a seed. Some of the seeds fell by the wayside. Is that? And the birds of the sky came, and some fell among thorns. Some fell in stony places. Then some fell in good ground. So you look at the seed is not the problem. The same seed. The challenge is the soil, where it fell. Which means the one who is, the potency of the word of God is indisputable. God's plan for all man is excellent. His will for you is perfect. Now, he passes it to you for the choices that you make. Okay? And you must be aware of the areas where you are choosing, the 5 areas, and you must be aware of the seasons of life. And you must be aware of the variations of the decision. So let's explain a few things first. So clearly, these are the activities you should engage in part-time. It's somebody who had the proper conception of his life. So what will make somebody... So let's put age brackets to these things first. So let's use the 20-year marker. Or should we use 25? You can use any. If you are doing an average of 80 years, we can use the 20 years in the 4 seasons, right? Should we do the average of 2020? Huh? So, from 0 to 20, you are here. 0 years to 20. From here, you are 20 to 40. From here, you are 40 to 60. From here, you are 60 to 80 years. Your life in picture. And you are participating in it. But God has delivered to you a perfect script. But it's up to you to live it by choices, by decisions. Right? So it then means by this our estimation that the first 20 years of your life, are you prepared? You know what it means that? How do you know you are prepared? So the first advantage a man has is under whose hand they grow the first 20 years. You see where family is important. And the first liability a man has is also under whose hand they grow. So, if you want to measure your life in the first 20 years, you will ask, what is the foundation of faith that has been laid in my life? That's the spiritual. Right? 2, what have I learned that I will do in life? Have I found me and what I'm good at? First 20 years. First 20. Have I been prepared? Do you understand? 3, relationship. Who are the significant people in my life? A mentor, a friend, a protege. Who am I following? Who's following me? That is, who do I need? That's another way to frame that question. Are you following? Who do I need? Who do I need? Because you must surround yourself with the people who would help you, right? But, okay. Then health-wise. You see, so all these things, and even financially, all these things, you know, you can be born here and you have a financial advantage by certain asset passed down to you. Are you following? So all these questions that you're asking here, the real key to success in life is to cultivate habits that help you through the seasons of life, right? So I like to use myself as a lab rat so you can relate. So I got saved at 26. Are you following? Where was I supposed to be? I got saved. What was my spiritual orientation until I got saved? Life is life. That everybody has faith in something. It may not be God. Do you understand what I mean? Everyone has a belief system. It can be your social orientation, your family background. It can be your tradition. Everybody believes something. And everybody lives what they believe. So can you say, wherever you are right now, that you can say you have started to be deliberate? Because the first question would be, tell me what you see. Is that not the beginning? Tell me who you see at the sunset. The finished guy. So what is the right time for preparation? We're dealing with timing now before choice. What's the right time for preparation? 0 to 20. What's the right time for growth? What's the right time for expansion? So you see that, what's the right time for transition? 60 and above. So let's see when somebody is in the wrong circle. What should he do? You don't plan to be 80? You don't plan to be 80? Why? What are you angry at? You say you don't plan to be 80? Oh, I thought you were saying you don't plan to be 80. We don't know what's annoying people. I watched one interview. One guy said police should just waste him. He's a criminal. Have you watched? He said because he will cause Nigeria more problem if he stays. So, if you make the right decision at the right time, it is what? A wise decision. Why is it a wise decision? Because it's the right time. And it's the right decision. But if you didn't make the right decision at the right time, are you doomed forever? No. If time is still on your side, you can now correct not making the right decision at the right time because you still have time. Is that not so? So what did you make here then? It was a mistake not to be prepared, right? It was a mistake. So life accommodates mistakes. And everybody must make mistakes one way or the other. Otherwise, no room for growth. Is that not? So, when you make a mistake and time is on your side, you can correct the mistake now by making the right decision. What? You said the wrong time? Yes. You will, if, for example, I wasn't prepared at 26, I now discover, what am I supposed to do? Go to growth. Let's say I'm something, go to growth. What am I supposed to do? Start envisioning your life. So your cycle you'll be in deficit. Your cycle will start from here, but it will be conception first. Then you will prepare. You will not worry about people who are younger than you in the class, in age. Because when you repeat a mistake, what happens? It's an error. If you repeat a mistake. Is that not? Because when you repeat a mistake, you lose the advantage of time that you have to have corrected the lack of preparation. Are you following? So if you're not prepared at 20, and you're also not prepared at 40, what you have done, Brother Chuk's laugh. If you're not prepared at 20, so it means that you made the wrong decision at the right time. That's a mistake. If you're not prepared at 40, you have not made the wrong decision at the wrong time. Meaning, you repeated mistake. What causes people to allow the time to pass and not do it? Let me give you an example. I said something wrong on Sunday. It's not the way I meant to say it that I said it. When I listened to it, I said the wrong thing. I said, I think we need first basic education and then general education and then special education. But what I said there was, at first, we need general education. I put it first. Did you hear me? But you didn't know I made a mistake because, first of all, you didn't even know what it was. So anything I say. But let me explain what basic education means. Because you will see people who are trying to correct their educational error, but not laying the foundation of preparation for education. Because basic education is where education starts. That's why you have basic primary education. Universal basic education, but UBE. You know that? What I mean, basic education is the education that focuses on reading, writing, and numbers. Every person must first learn how to access information by garnering or learning the skill of to read well, to write well, to speak well, and to do numbers well. It is basic. It is not taught in university. If you carry that problem, then nobody's explaining it to you. Nobody. Do you understand what I mean? It is basic education. But if you look at your age and refuse basic, you are repeating a mistake. You come here, you don't know the thing, you are deceiving yourself. And now, brethren, I comment. You taggart. You are too mature. You are trying to trick us into believing that you have basic education. You have problem. You are repeating a mistake. You are committing an error. Because it's not looking good on you. So the first education at primary level should be focused on basic education. Some of us here, we have turned 30s, can't read well, can't write. I hear you write. You spell anything together as together. Now, you... And now they're telling you correct it. You are still doing abbreviation writing. Basic education is the problem. Those times you were doing dictation in school, it was necessary there to give you basic. To some people, it's not only stage fright they have. It's the ego that is going to be exposed for not being able to read. Basic education. Once you have basic education, secondary school should focus on general education. To run you through the humanities, the liberal arts, you are supposed to be acquainted, you are supposed to do many subjects. I still teach today and refer to certain things I was taught in secondary, crammed for exam. So you lack general education. I was talking to this lady today. I just enjoyed it. I told you twice or thrice. So I enjoyed talking to you. Speak good English. Put in the words. I said, this talk is sweet. Choosing the words right. Not trying to form. You know, some people try to form. Was lust. And the issue is that now you have the YouTube University. You have phone. You are not using it for education. You're using it for entertainment. See that? It's a bookie man will keep person. The comedian I like the most is a cappella. Look, grow and be a useful person. Debate. Your children should learn to debate, to try their thoughts. It's part of basic education. To speak, to hear your view. Because when you sit in the boardroom there, those basics are showing. So when we have things like college meeting and the rest, people think that you are embarrassing them. No, you lack basic education. So they give you a brief answer. Noted. Good morning, Pastor. Good morning, brothers. Noted. That is, you know who kill me. Just go. Basic education. So I said, first is basic education. Next is what? General education. Then special. The work you are going to do, you must be trained for it. I think between secondary school and university, one should have leadership education. So you can find you and know to train you in line with the way you are. People like us, if we had proper training, this theological college would have gone to quite early. If you're going to work with and they force everybody to university as if all of us are going to do theoretical. Somebody could have been a furniture maker after good, sound primary and secondary education. And learn the in and out of the business. We undermine them for paperwork. Say, I get to school, where are they? Unijust, Uniborn. You see? So, we're wrongly schooled. And what we went to school for, we all here. Who here is working as he was trained in the university? Who? Sociology? What do you? Eh? Social studies, education. What was your plan? To teach. Did you like it? Are you doing it? Why not?
Because I'm done with private schools.
Okay, you need normal pay. What did you study? Environmental management. Did you? Eh? English and literary studies. Education. Do you love to teach? Yeah, it doesn't have to be in school, but you love to teach. What did you study? Business administration. Is that anywhere what you are doing now? What did you study? Mass communication. Statistics. Misdirection. Because if there was a leadership education, it should be about finding yourself and training yourself in line with yourself. If you're handy, you go to where they're handy. If you are intellectual, you go to. Do you understand? But this one, it feeds our parents' ego who have been in the dark for a long time. All of us say, I'm in uni, I'm in uni. So we waste, if you calculate all your fees, we waste a lot of money we would have used. We are looking for it now to start business. We waste a lot of money, waste a lot of time, came out to learn how to bake cake. What a shame. I'm telling you now, it's funny. You are already following that line with your children. You don't supervise them for basic education at primary. You tell them that how can John pass you in the class? Is that not? Your child interacting with you is part of education, your home. Is that not? Let them be blowing pigeon like they are planning to be comedian. So if you miss preparation, this is a mistake, right? Okay? Because it should have been the right decision at the right time. You didn't make it. So if you come here again, you can now make the right decision. You can correct the decision here because you have made a mistake. So from mistake, it can become error. From error, it can become blunder. Do you understand what I mean? As it goes, it will be decaying like fresh fish as you don't tend to your life. You can't skim it away. Because some people think that it's the location that is the problem. So just look like this and have to get out of worry. I'm going to port. And every time you move, the date accounting, right? So you are not getting. So let's look at it with one aspect of life, which is marriage, for example. So 0 to 20. You should have been cool by yourself. 20 to 40. If you plan to marry in 20 and 40, if you plan to marry, because you are dependent here. You should be independent here now. Abi? To somebody, it's bad enough for a man to be 40. Not married. What about a woman? If you look at your cycle, you have put yourself in a place in low deba. So if you know that place in the Bible is very interesting. So because if you don't, Let's talk about relationship, marriage now. Who do you need? Who do you need? You need a good father, right? Hmm? In your life, these are pillars. Some of us are suffering what my father did by not being. You need a father. You need a good father in life. You need a good pastor. Do you think so? Okay. You will have the same problem. If you have a father, you can rule. You have the same problem if you have a pastor, you can rule. Because there are some fathers. You can just call them. I want you to meet me at Besu. It will just show. Then you tell, so what are we going to say? I will tell you if you reach there. It will just show. Because the consequence is the supplies. Then you tell him there that, see, this guy is owing me. I want you to do like you are the police I brought. So preparation, between conception and birth is a time of preparation. Preparation for that life, for that business, for that family, for your wealth. Then if you bet something, it must grow. Whether it's a business, whether it's a family, what career, it must grow. So, under a good master, a good father, a good master at work, do you understand? Apprenticeship. Because now you'll be on your own. When you are on your own here now, you will try things. Then when you get stable, you're mature. Then you make the transition. So the four kind of decisions I said, an error, sorry, is it an error we started with? A mistake is a wrong decision at the right time. That's a mistake. An error is the wrong decision. What? It's a right, an error is a, what is a mistake? That's a mistake. Wrong decision at the right time. What's an error? Right decision. So let's apply an error. How do you commit an error? So an error and a mistake, they are different. You understand? Okay. When you make the right decision at the wrong time, right? That's an error. It means that you have correct, so let's say you miss here. So you're supposed to make a right decision here, you didn't make it. You had the second opportunity here, you turned 40, you didn't make it. So you are 40 now. Okay? By some miracle, you marry. I'm assuming marry. Or you got saved. You know God. Is it a bad thing? Okay. The seeds you sow here don't have time for growth for harvest. Do you understand what I mean? So you are a living error. You minimize the liabilities of your past, but you don't have time enough to reap the harvest of your seed. You are an error, a cancellation in the writing. Do you get what I mean? So 40 to 60 should not meet you. Have you seen somebody who gave their life to Christ? Have you experienced some of your parents who gave your life to Christ? They have finished burning children, burning. They have finished everything, then they now know Christ. How do they practice their faith? With such caution. Or as a girl now, you always believe you have time. You know, some people can just pursue another aspect of their life. Why am I always on girl? You can always pursue the other aspect of your life and be undermining one. Don't let school make you think that you should focus on one thing. You can do, your life is multifaceted. So an error is different from a mistake because the error is the right decision, wrong time. The problem is when time is not on your side, even when you do right, you can receive the benefit in your conscience. Do you understand? So it is even wise to do the right thing at any time. Is that not? For example, you have had polygamous family, you now got saved. Are you going to unwind it? No. You will live with it. Okay, so the mistake is wrong decision, right time. So time is on your side. So you're permitted to make mistake. The error is right decision, time is not on your side. Then a blunder is example of a blunder. They have diagnosed you that you have, let's say you have smoked all your life, you didn't listen to anybody. You smoked the first 20 years. Stop. You know, this thing have build up for health. Your soul will be accepted by God. Black soul. Your soul, God loves you. But the consequences of bad health habits, you'll be using your faith for something that should not have been your problem. Let's come to health. So I feel now, one of the biggest medications you can have is a life of exercise. One of the biggest medications is a regular life of exercise. If you winged it in your 20s, start in your 30s, please. That is, work it into a routine like it's a lifestyle. Because have you noticed that every time we see somebody with a health emergency, we almost think it can be us? Have you noticed that thing? Huh? They always thought so. I don't know where we get this invincibility from as human beings. They always thought so. You will see somebody bloated, big. Now, they're trying to jog. Like this. This is jogging. This is the jogging. When I go to exercise, there's one. I know she's tired. They will give her kettle. They give her pot. They give her all of uniform. Then they'll be angry if you are looking at them. We're joking, we'll look at them. That is, who are you looking at? It did not wake up big. They just kept opening their mouth and loving the way gala travels through the esophagus. People can write an essay on swallowing right. I don't know. I mean, I've had a friend like that. I have a friend who, I don't like the way he describes food. I have a friend that I never told him, but he would just say, Bob, we went to Kaba. If you see the amala. I say, in my mind, I'm like, this guy, the way he's correct, gooses. I think, this guy, the way eat and get out, the way he describes meal. You know somebody like that? It seems like you know someone. The way they describe meal. You are looking at somebody. Taya, I hope you are not the person. You know? It's our life. Because if you look at it, life is so interesting that your consequences come to you. They don't go to someone else's account. Somehow. It's just, and you can be angry when they come. I've seen some people, and I will say this, you have made a mistake. You are now aware you have made a mistake. You have doubled down. to solve the mistake by making new mistakes. You double down. Somebody just finds out that if I had acted wisely, my finances would be good. So now you want to dedicate the next, you are 40-something, you want to dedicate the next 10 years, you don't know, on your finances at the expense of your family. If you look at life, your mind will tell you, if you are running late, hurry. If you are late, what should you do? Should you hurry? If you are running late, there's hope to catch up, right? What if you are now late? What we do is this. What creates pressure is compression of time. When you don't think properly, you give small time to some issues. Like somebody, run from somebody who wants to marry this year. Because everything they are seeing around you, and why? They looked at their time that, people like to say this thing, I told myself, I was not there when you told yourself. I told myself that this year, I will settle down. You will now achieve that settling down and find out that there were things you didn't check that you now have to deal with. So then the last decision is wisdom. What is wisdom? So it makes all things beautiful in its time. So if you prepare, look at two timing I want to show you now. Natural timing and your own timing. If you prepare here, it's not enough guarantee that you go around the circle. When it gets to this season, and you go and be doing preparation, because you are addicted to preparation, you waste the season. If you grow here, when you make a transition, you must always be in the mode of the season. Are you following? Now, if your own cycle starts here, follow it naturally. Don't beat it by saying, this is where I should have been. Praise God. So, is it scripture to say that, the scripture says, he that hath an ear. Okay, but parable say, a word is enough for the wise. So where are you now in terms of physical age? What season do you think you are? I don't think anybody here is. Very few people are above 40, right? Very few people are above 40. But even at 40, if you have not done something you are supposed to do, make it your preparation and do it. Because you still have time. If you don't do it, no conscience is as heavy as regret. To live with yourself, knowing that there are things you should have done. You can bring the offering bag. Let's give our offering. To live with yourself, knowing that there are things you should have done that you did not do, and now your leg is carrying you, meaning there's strength. Your eyes are seeing. Somebody said, a man came to his place and said he wants security work. And the man can hardly stand. Then he said, okay, help. Say, I can man the gate. Say, I can do security. The man was looking at him like, this guy first needs to eat. If you see security, will you not know? I was coming from an all-night one time at airport. Then I was still at Airport Road. There were some guys. All these people who say they are old soldiers who are doing security. He has gone. He's running from me. So I was coming from the all night like this. I was coming. So We were on the same lane. He crossed to this side, I crossed to this side. The man just, but he has gone. Because when they told him to prepare, he was not hearing. He was not hearing. Now when he's supposed to be expanding, or God has not even conceived anything. You know, I say, what will you do? Say anything. Just say anything. This life is interesting. Yesterday I was sitting in a fast food. One guy just came to me. At first he tried to walk close to me. I thought he recognized me as somebody and walked away. After a while he came to me and asked me if he could eat, well dressed, if he could eat the crumbs of the chicken and chips and a bottle of Coke that I had left. I said, no, you can't. I'm embarrassed. So in my head, I'm figuring out, like, maybe this guy is trying to play on my conscience to give him money. I said, why? You sit down. He sat down. I looked at him. He has like 2 patterns on his eyelid. You know all those patterns they put? He has like 2 on his eyelid. He has a little tattoo here. I mean, he doesn't look like the hobo or the kind of homeless person. I said, I'm embarrassed. I can't have you do this. He said, don't mind. I've not eaten throughout today. I was thinking in my head, is he on drugs? I didn't say he should eat. I picked my key and I left. When I got out, I looked through the glass. He was not joking. He was eating. I said, God. There are things you see. You will take your life seriously. There are things you will see, you will say, being on track, I must remain on track. Because there are seasons that will meet you if you don't do what you are supposed to do. When you see old men standing in line for pension, then sun on them. Remember your Creator now that you're young. Your greatest asset is time. Your mind and time, you can do anything. Successful people look at how you value money. They give you money to work for them. Give you money, keep your time. They'll be doing all that thing. Ask yourself, who am I producing for? Because you may be producing, but it's not the one that you will reap from. Sense your feet. May we live wise lives. We should make the right decisions in every aspect of our life. If you are here, you have been hesitating about starting that business, doing that. Something has been in your heart that will not leave you, and you will not put all your heart to do it. You will regret it.